made by me. I found it on Google and I thought it was really, really cool. So please enjoy the video and stay awesome.
Oh yeah.
The mysterious fierce deity. Where his origins come from? Well, we do not know, and we're about to find out right now. This mask is given to you at the very end of defeating Majora and completing every single side mission to get all the masks. You trade this little boy wearing the Majora's mask and you get this evil mask, or so we're told. Right now we're about to find out the origins, and remember, this is just a theory, and this is my theory alone. Also, I've gained some information from Google as well. So in the game, the Fierce Deity mask is presented as a reward after collecting all other masks. Majora himself offers it to you after he sees that you have given all the others away to the children. It allows you to crush the final boss with ease. You put this mask on, and it gives you the ultimate power to become this ultimate warrior. And if you think about it, you put on this mask, and it's like you're back as adult Link. The same grunts, the same sounds, everything. An interesting fact is that the name of the other transformation mask, the Deku mask, the Goron mask, and the Zora mask, all refer to a particular race. As you can see, the features of the mask are very typical and non-specific, even though they represent the spirits of particular members of those races. They appear as though they could be anyone from that race, and that's what the mystery is behind the mask and the origin. The Fierce Deity mask, however, bears a striking resemblance to Link's facial features, and that's what's scary. It even has his hat, his hairstyle. A notable fact is that the mask name contains a possessive S, suggesting that the mask is a particular belongs to a certain being. So with that being, could it be one of Link's former incarnations? That we do not know, and that's what lies in the mystery of my theory. Now here is my take on this theory. In the North American version of Majora's Mask, this item is referred to as the Fierce Deity or Deity mask. However, in the origin is called Oni. Oni is referred to as a demonic possession or demonic type of creature. This creature or demon is the one who causes havoc. Oni is a Japanese folklore. It's a demon-like race that coexisted with humans, sometimes leading raids on human villages and even destroying their homes. Now this doesn't mean that all Oni are evil. So while the word Oni translates to orc or demon, there is no connection between the kanji for Oni and evil in Japanese culture. So make sure you check on that, because it's not always evil. In fact, the kanji for Oni appears in the compound with Shin, which is a true divine, when the term Fierce Deity is converted to Japanese text. So the Japanese text is all about contents. One might read as Onigami or Kishin, since Gami refers to the endings or death. Kishin seems the more likely to go with. So think about it this way. This also very interesting when you take in account that both translations refer to the figure in Buddhism, sometimes called the Fierce Deities. Did you have your mind blown right now? Because I just did. There are entities such as Bishomenten and Mayo who unleash their wrath upon anyone or anything that would prevent human spirits from obtaining or vanquish evil in genre. So think about it. This could be the Fierce Deity, could have been a reincarnation or the first very Link to coexist with the Zelda series itself. Now to answer the question, who is the Fierce Deity? We might also ask, why does Link continuously reincarnate himself? Well, the answer behind Zelda and Ganondorf is that they are both mortal embodiments of gods, Hylia and Demise, respectfully. But why does Link come back every lifetime? I mean, because is it his destiny to defeat Ganon even every time he reawakens? While this may be true in some part, I believe there is more to it than that. So, if Ganon and Zelda return to every century because their souls contain spirits of gods, then what god is Link? And this is where it comes in. One might say that they don't revive because they are vessels for the divine, but because they each possess a piece of the Triforce. Okay, but the Triforce isn't just given away to any being. In fact, Hylian legend states that if one touches the Triforce, anything they wish may be granted. So think about it this way. It only ever says that it became one with Ganondorf after he touched it, absorbing the Triforce of power into his very being, causing other two pieces to manifest in Zelda and Link. So, again, both Ganondorf and Zelda possess the life of a god in their spirit, theoretically making them either strong enough to have it as part of them or being worthy enough. So, as you can think, they're reincarnations. So how does Link come into play in this? Because he's the Godness chosen hero. Well, why did Hylia choose him in the first place? What makes him right? I believe that just Zelda and Ganon, Link has a past immortal life that predates itself to Skyward Sword. If you've seen the manga, if you've read the manga, you could see the fierce deity or the fierce deity appear. And it says, "Here I come, Majora, the fierce deity. What is this? What does it turn into?" In the Majora's Mask manga, the fierce deity was being who defeated evil dragon god called Majora, and then carved a mask out of its hide and used the magic sun to heal it up inside. This is the closest thing we've had as an official origin story behind the fierce deity, but unfortunately it's a non-canon, so that's what sucks. The fierce deities call him Kishan must have existed in the pre-Skyward Sword era. So think about it this way. Knowing that the fierce deities are driven by a desire to smite evil, the only confirmed evil presence as the time was Demise. It never was explained how Hylia defeated and sealed him up, so for all we know it could have been Kishan. But wait, it could have been because it was Skyward Sword Link who defeated the original Demise after he went back in time. Knowing that the timeline has been altered, this would leave Kishan with no evil entity to defeat. Fierce deities exist to destroy evil. So, if you think about it, this would perhaps make a wandering soul believing he has no purpose. And where do wandering spirits filled with regret go? Termina, or Termina. And that's in Majora's Mask. At some point, he's probably stumbled across the happy mask salesman who's offered to ease his regrets with the Song of Healing, being as is he the only one in Termina who knows it. After that, Deity Mask would had to have been stolen by Skull Kid, or some other event happening allowing Majora to obtain it. It probably seeking its power. So, there are some theories that speculate the Happy Mask Salesman is Majora, as it never stated who the actual being is. All we know is that he has a mask. In fact, he expresses his emotion in an unnatural manner. If you remember it, playing with the game, being jerky and spontaneous, switching from one expression to another. He's kind of like bipolar. He mysteriously pulls an organ out of nowhere and urges Link that he must have that mask back. Even the children on the moon look like the Happy Mask Salesman. And if you think about it, they do. And asks Link if he would be a mask salesman, imploring him to give them more. So in the end, he even fades away right before your eyes, perhaps because you finally put his spirit to rest. And this is why this game is so dark. In any case, there's no way to tell if any of these are true. Like I said, this is a theory from what I think and what Google has said. Because with work of fiction like Zelda, people will always ask questions. Perhaps some of them will never be answered. So this might just be the closest thing to truth of what we have. The simple fact is, as the story-driven as The Legend of Zelda is, the developers decide on what game mechanic to have first, and then build a story around it. So, for those parts, this is what I think. overall, I think the Fierce Deity was the very first Link to ever live in the history of the Zelda franchise. And the other incarnations of Link, like from Ocarina, Majora, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess, are all reincarnations of that. Zelda is Hylia, and Ganon is Demise. Ganondorf is Demise. So those are my theories on the Fierce Deity. The Fierce Deity was healed by the Song of Healing. That's why his spirit is inside of the mask, and that's why you can only use the mask in battles.